November. I'm Coach Orsini, and today I'm gonna help you guys with some flexibility and mobility to help with your acceleration. So going off what Coach Frisbee said yesterday, we're gonna start with his first rate limiting factor, which was ankle mobility. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys an ankle rocker stretch. And what this is gonna do, it's not only gonna improve your mobility through your ankle, but it's also gonna help you with that aggressive shin angle that James was talking about when you get into your 2-point stance, and also help you with your big toe push off to get into that power line. All right, so to perform this stretch, I'm gonna use a wall. You don't have to, but this is a really good way to get into this stretch initially. And what you're gonna do is just make sure your foot stays flat to the ground. So one thing I tell the kids in here is pretend like you have a nail driving through your heel, and that'll keep that heel down, because the first thing it's gonna wanna lift is the heel. So keep the foot completely flat, and then all you're gonna do is just push that knee towards the wall. If you can get the knee to the wall and it's pretty easy, then scoot the foot back slightly and then push that knee towards the wall again. Once you find where it's kind of uncomfortable and you feel a nice stretch in there, then hold that position. So another one of Coach Frisbee's rate limiting factors was on body control. So especially coming out of the stance, a lot of guys come out off balance. So I'm gonna give you guys a hip flexion variation that's gonna help address the trunk, hips, knees, ankles, and glutes. If done correctly, this is gonna help you guys with that first step power output out of your stance. Again, getting into that power line in a controlled state, meaning you're not off balance. All right, guys, so biggest thing on this, make sure your hips are over top your feet. So that's gonna engage the glutes. You want big toe flexion on this foot that is banded, and you're just gonna pull the knee up in line with the hip. Make sure the knee is in line with the hip and not coming across the body, okay? This glute you're standing on is engaged, so you're squeezing it as tight as you can. You can hold this for an ISO, or we can go for reps. We come straight down and right back up. And then if you wanna add a little bit of aggressiveness to it, you can do a little heel lift on this bottom foot, but again, there's gonna be no break in the hips. So everything stays in alignment, core is engaged, okay? So when we say core engaged, again, everything's nice and tight. All right, guys, again, I'm gonna focus on body control. So this is just a groiner stretch. It's a very simple, basic stretch, but one thing it is gonna do is it's gonna help address the adductors and the abductors a little bit, which are very important, especially coming out of a powerful stance. You're gonna see a lot of knee valgus or external rotation at the ankles. That has a lot to do with the inner and outer thigh. Okay, and the way to do this stretch, you're just gonna start in a hand plank. So again, your trunk is engaged. You're gonna pull your foot up to the outside of your hand, and you need to keep that foot flat. So I'm gonna show you the way I do it, and then if you struggle with hip mobility and flexibility, I'm gonna show you a modified version as well. All right, guys, check out the description below. I put a whole little workout together with your reps and sets to follow, and you guys can literally do this every day until you're able to get in this stance and get out with control. Stay tuned tomorrow. We're gonna talk about strength training for acceleration.